and this module is about cash flow statement made using direct method. And this is the first part of our discussion. We have discussed that cash flow statement can be prepared either using indirect method or direct method. In the indirect method, we have seen that how operating activities, investing and financing activities related cash flows are calculated, that is cash inflows and outflows. There is another method of making a cash flow statement, and this method is called direct method of cash flow. The direct method is different from the indirect method of cash flow statement only in the operating activities. यानी इन्वेस्टिंग और फाइनेंसिंग एक्टिविटीज के अंदर कैश फ्लोज की कैलकुलेशन दोनों मेथड्स में एक जैसी होती है, और जो असल फर्क है दोनों मेथड्स के अंदर, दैट इज डायरेक्ट and indirect method, is basically in the operating activity. In the operating activities in indirect method, we start with the amount of profit and we adjust the current assets and liabilities difference in that, and we consider the non-cash items to get the amount of cash inflow or outflow from operating activities. But using the direct method of cash flow statement, we use some different accounts. Let's have a look at these accounts. The first one is cash collected from customer. So the amount of sales that we have made on credit and as on cash also. So we see that how much cash has been collected from them, and we'll see that how this amount is calculated. The second one is the amount that we take in operating activities that is related to the cash paid to the suppliers, जिनसे हमने चीजें खरीदी हैं, product खरीदी है. And then we talk about the cash paid to employees, यानी salaries or wages जो एक business अपने employees को pay करता है. And then we calculate the cash which is paid for expenses in advance. We call them the prepaid expenses, and then the amount of interest received or dividend received, that is the income which is considered as the other income of the company, is also calculated in this direct method of cash flow statement. And then the amount of interest which is paid by the company is also taken into operating activities. Although we discussed in the last module that financing activities include the payment of debt, but the interest payment on that is not taken in the financing activities, but it is taken as an operating activity. And finally, it is the amount of tax which is paid in cash. Now let's see one by one that how these amounts are calculated. Some of these calculations we'll discuss in this module, and the remaining calculations we'll discuss in the second part of this module of direct method of cash flow statement. So let's begin with cash from customers. Customers वो लोग हैं जिन्हें हम क्रेडिट सेल करते हैं, और क्रेडिट सेल के जरिए से हमारे पास कैश इनफ्लो होता है थोड़े अरसे बाद, और कैश सेल वो है कि जिससे हमें जिस वक्त हम सेल करते हैं हमें कैश इनफ्लो मिल जाता है. सो हाउ डू वी कैलकुलेट इट? फर्स्ट वी कंसिडर द अमाउंट ऑफ नेट सेल्स, यानी नेट सेल्स की फिगर हमें ये बताती है कि कितना अमाउंट कैश में हमें मिलना चाहिए. लेकिन अगर हमारे अकाउंट्स रिसीवेबल के बैलेंस में कुछ इंक्रीज हो गई है तो इसका मतलब है कि सेल्स में से कुछ पैसे हमें नहीं मिले, और अगर कुछ डिक्रीज हो गई है तो इसका मतलब ये है कि न सिर्फ इस साल की सेल्स के पैसे हमें मिले हैं बल्कि कैश इनफ्लो पिछले साल की सेल से जनरेट होने वाले रिसीवेबल्स से भी हुई है. So that means if there is a decrease in the amount of account receivable, the cash inflow will be more than the amount of sales. और अगर इंक्रीज होगी अकाउंट्स रिसीवेबल में तो इसका मतलब ये है कि हमारी नेट सेल्स पूरी की पूरी रिसीव नहीं हुई. How do we calculate it? We simply add the opening balance of accounts receivables in our net sales value and we deduct the ending balance, that is the balance on the last day of the accounting period of accounts receivable, and the result, the answer that we get is actually the cash that we have collected in this accounting period from our customers. So this is the first point of calculations in the operating activity. The second one is related to the cash which is paid to the suppliers. Similarly, as we have calculated the cash which has been received from the customers, if we reciprocate it, if we just turn it the other way, कि जहां पर हमें पेमेंट करनी होती है, that is related to purchases. जब हम चीजें खरीदते हैं तो हमें सप्लायर्स को, वेंडर्स को कैश पे करना होता है. Now, when we purchase something on credit, it results into accounts payable. अगर accounts payable का बैलेंस साल के आखिर तक कम हो जाए तो इसका मतलब ये है कि हमने जितनी अमाउंट की चीज़ें खरीदी थी उससे कुछ ज़्यादा अमाउंट कैश में पे की है क्योंकि अकाउंट्स पेबल का बैलेंस कम हो गया और उसकी पेमेंट हो गई है. और अगर अकाउंट्स पेबल का बैलेंस बढ़ जाए तो इसका मतलब ये है कि हमने इस साल की परचेजेस में से भी कुछ अमाउंट पे नहीं की है. That means the cash outflow resulting from purchases will be less than the amount of purchases that we have made in this year. How do we calculate the amount of cash that is paid to suppliers is by applying this formula, and that is considering purchases, adding the amount of opening balance of accounts payable and subtracting the amount of accounts payable. In addition to that, we also add the difference of inventory at the end of the year. यानी ending stock में से opening stock को माइनस करने के बाद जो रिजल्ट हमारे पास आता है उसको भी हम परचेजेस की फिगर में ऐड करते हैं तो हमारे पास वो अमाउंट ऑफ कैश आ जाती है which is the cash paid to suppliers, and this is how we calculate the second part of our cash flow from operating activity.